When you are designing a survey question for any platform, when you want information from people, especially when you want to use that information to make a decision, you have to think about what the outcome looks like. Like, design your survey question and then read each choice back to yourself as if it was 80% people chose this, and be like, oh, could I use this information? Would that be helpful for me? And if it's not, if you can't use the information like that, you know for sure it's a bad survey question. Another company, this is a tech company trying to leverage LinkedIn. Great, leverage LinkedIn to get information. They want to know which marketing channel people would use to reach and attract potential students. Is the wording of the question kind of weird and am I tripping over it? Yes, it's not my favorite, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about these answer choices. You cannot tell me that this person, this organization is getting good information because social media, that's one answer. Social media, which hides so many different things, right? Social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter/X, Facebook, Pinterest kind of counts itself as social media. There's a ton of social media networks, right? Like LinkedIn, this social media network that they're doing the survey on, right? All of those things would fall into social media. So if someone's like, I think TikTok is best, they should click social media. If someone for some reason thinks Facebook is best, no, I'm just kidding, but it's kind of going out of vogue, right? They would also click social media. So this person gets back this data that they've spent the time to create the survey question. They're trying to get a bunch of people to answer it because they really want to know, let's say, where they should invest their time, money, energy in marketing. And let's say most people said social media. What is the decision coming out of that? Oh, well, we should be using social media. Well, gee, thanks. That's mighty general, isn't it? Which social media should you use? You could say well, sure, they can do a follow-up survey and then be like, okay, they said social media. Now let's have people vote on which social media they find most effective. But really? No, don't do that. Just be streamlined. You're asking me a question because you want to know what I think is the most effective. Make sure that you're giving me specific enough answer categories, answer choices, things I can click on, that you can actually take action just based on the results from this question. If people choose email campaigns, or the majority of people say search engine marketing, then they could take action, right? Because it'd be all right, those were the two biggest things. Although I would argue maybe people weren't considering all the different social media platforms, and therefore the responses to this aren't even accurate. So could you take action if those two were the winners? Debatable. If you're going to take the time to ask a question, if you're going to ask me to take the time to answer it, let's make sure good question gets you information that is you can actually use, that it's meaningful. This is not that. Social media, not a monolith, y'all. Not a monolith. Not one big thing. It's made up of so many little things. Why would you ever ask about all of that at once? It's just so different.